Good evening and welcome to Let's Talk COPD Support Group. Again, for those who don't know me, my name's Jimmy Slover. I'm one of your admins. As promised, it's a little late on Saturday, but I did a video on my phone and it's just taking way too long to download. So I'm trying one on YouTube for the first time and we'll see how this goes. So, what do we talk about today? I saw somebody post on one of my comments and asked me what my daily routine is. So, I thought I would share my daily routine with you this evening. But first, I have to kind of go in the reverse order here. So, I try to stay up every night till 11:30. The reason being is if I go to bed any earlier, then I'm up way too early and it makes for a long, miserable day. And we all know we don't like those. So I do my best to make sure that I'm up till at least 11:30. Okay, that being said, I get up somewhere around 7:30, 8 o'clock every morning. Of course, the first thing I do is head to the bathroom and take care of business. I do wear oxygen, as you can see, but I don't put it on to go to the bathroom. When I first get up, I seem to be at the most energy level of the morning, so I'll take it and run. I get done with business, I come out, I turn on my oxygen and put my cannula in my nose and head to the kitchen. Now, I'm kind of weird, so I have a weird game plan. I unload my dishwasher first thing every morning. The reason being, again, is I've got the most energy and the kitchen is kind of my safe zone. I can lean on the counter and pretty much do everything I need to do and still rest and take it slow and save breaths. So that's my first up in the morning routine. Then I pour myself a cup of coffee, which was made the night before, so it goes off at 7 o'clock, and by the time I'm done undoing the dishwasher, it's pretty much done cooking. So, pour myself a cup of coffee, come out to the living room, and open up my Bible, say my prayers, read a couple uh, passages, and pretty much just take it slow and rest. So, right here at this point, I would be doing a duoneb if I was going to do a nebulizer treatment. This would be the time I would be doing it. However, I'm blessed and I get the option of Comuvent Respimat or a duoneb. So I, on my good days, choose to do uh, a shot of Comuvent, and that works for me. And it makes my day a lot nicer and a lot easier. It takes 5 seconds versus 10 to 12 minutes with a nebulizer. So it's a win-win in my book. Then I move on to a second cup of coffee, come back into the living room, and I begin doing my vital checklist. I do this every day faithfully. I have a checklist where I go down and check my blood sugar, I check my blood pressure, I check my oximeter, I check my blood sugars, I check for edema issues. I do all of this faithfully every day. Then I keep track of the time that I took Comuvent, uh, and then I track I track everything. Then I look up to see how bad the air is for today. Then I post that, and then I look up the pollen, and I find out what the pollens are for the day. I post that so that I have a visual to be going back to look at. And then I check the weather to see how hot it's going to be or how cold. All of this determines whether I'm going out for the day or I'm staying indoors. If all the elements are right and I choose to take that gamble, then you could bet I'm getting on my scooter and I'm hitting the trail. If not, then it's indoors, and those days can kind of suck, that's for sure. But you know what? It could be worse. So I will take it with a smile. Uh, that's pretty much my morning routine. Now, my exercise is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I walk with a walker. Uh, I try to go the length of a tennis court. I've been cut off. I can only go a quarter of a mile per my doctor. So if I get in 700 steps on one walk and I come back home, I feel like I've conquered the world. And here's the reason why. Take that 700 plus the 300 or 400 that I'm going to walk around doing chores and things in my home, and you're looking at 1,000 step day every day. When you only have less than 22% lung function, you have to take that and smile, and I do just that. So that makes me pretty proud that I can reach that goal in my condition. Uh, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I lift weights. I have a 5 pound and a 10 pound weight set that I use. I alternate. And I have a stair stepper that I get on for 3 minutes on altering days also. That's pretty much my exercise routine in a nutshell. Um, Once I'm done with that, I come in, I rest. Uh, I would say after my second cup of coffee, I start drinking water. Uh, Water is my worst enemy, I'm not going to lie. I know that there are many of us that struggle with this. So I do my best to get 56 to 64 ounces of fluid in me every day. Um, I would say most days on an average, I am averaging 48 to 56. So I'll take that and smile any day of the week. I know it's still not good enough. I know that I will reach my goal of 64, but I have been on so many liquid or fluid restrictions, it's not funny, since 2011. So I kind of count my blessings now that I'm not on a restriction, and it does give me a goal to fight for. For those that have problem with water, I do drink Propel. Propel's a little sweet, but it's diabetic friendly and it's definitely calorie friendly, and it's good for us COPDers. It it's a win-win. So you might want to look into that. I get mine from Costco or Sam's Club. So they have several flavors, and I just alternate it. I do half water, and then I try to use Propel for my drink at meal times. Talking about meals, I don't do 3 a day. I do try to do the 5 and 6. I actually average about 5 faithfully every day. So I feel really good about that. Here's the kicker with that. You really do notice that you don't have as much on your diaphragm. You're not as full. So you're breathing much easier. And if you try the 3 big meals and then go to the little meals, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's just simple math. Uh, and it works for me. So I'm going to keep marching to that tune. And hopefully it'll keep going in my favor. My acid reflux has gotten less since I've started eating healthier. We all know that we need proteins, so I try to put as much protein in my meals as possible. I am not a red meat eater anymore. I don't know if red meat is a factor with COPD. I don't, but I just choose to get away from red meat now. And I am all about chicken and fish. And you can throw pork in there, pork chop. I'm talking about pork chops every now and then. I do like meatloaf, so that would probably be the extent of my red meat. I'll eat a steak every blue moon, but I just really have gotten away from red meat. I eat a lot of vegetables, and I try to stay away from the ones that are going to cause bloating issues. But we put them out on the site pretty much monthly. So it's easy to pick and choose your poisons. I will say this: I can eat anything as long as I eat it in moderation. If you're not stupid about it, you're not going to have a problem. It's all about you, your situation, and how bad do you want to suffer. So when we break the rules, we have to realize we're going to pay the consequences. It's that simple. I could say that with coffee and caffeine. I know that I have a hydration problem, yet I keep drinking coffee every morning. So go figure. My brother just looked at me 2 days ago and said, "But you're drinking coffee and you're sitting here telling all of us you think that you were uh, partially dehydrated and that's why you weren't feeling good. Why are you drinking coffee?" So, you know, when you pick and choose your poisons, you just have to be prepared for the consequences. And I am. I don't have a problem with that. I don't break too many rules when it comes to this illness because I have found out that I like breathing. So I don't want to struggle for my breath, and that's what this is all about, not struggling. Anybody who thinks that you're going to get cured overnight, that ain't going to happen. We're stuck with a disease that is no cure for. But you can live with this. I've been doing this for 19 years at stage 4. I was stage 4 right out of the gate. So I didn't get the experiences of 1, 2, and 3. Mine was right out the gate, and I had to fight right from the start very hard. So I feel like now I'm blessed because I have learned so much and I'm able to give back so much. So keep that in the back of your mind. You know, this illness is not fun, but we can live with it if we just smart about our choices. Look, the bottom line is that we can do anything a normal person can do. We just do it a heck of a lot slower. That's the bottom line. We do it a heck of a lot slower. I tell all of my friends and family, if you're in that big of a rush, then don't invite me. But if you want to spend quality time with me, then you're going to have to come down to my level. Or I'll meet you at the finish line. It's that simple. Uh, I don't have a problem with that anymore. And I don't have a problem in telling somebody I am not going to suffer my breaths because of somebody's stupidity. It's not worth it anymore. It's just not. My breaths are precious, and I know that. So I guard them wholeheartedly. That being said, I usually just dig into, you know, things to do. I have things to do because I'm the California captain for the COPD Foundation. I try to get involved in my community pretty much every month, month to month. I go after stores and businesses that I think that can help COPD patients. So I targeted them. That's what I'm all about. I'm all about giving back and helping you, the patient, not breathe as hard as I did today because I learned the hard way. So whatever I can give back, that's what I try to do. And I'm proud of that. So that being said, I stay pretty busy no matter what. I've got my ups and downs just like everybody else. One of my triggers is the barometric pressure. When it changes at night, I change. I struggle every night, guys. Every night between 7 and 9, I literally struggle. You would think that I would be smart enough to go get in on my BiPAP and be done with it, but I don't. I sit here because usually the San Francisco Giants are playing, and like a dummy, I sit here and just keep doing a treatment and struggling to breathe. I mean, I'm not gasping for breath, don't get me wrong, but I probably could make life a lot simpler if I just went in and got on my BiPAP machine. Someday they're going to invent two, or going to give us two machines, and then I won't have to worry. I could just put a machine out here by my chair and be a happy camper, I guess. I don't know. I have a lot of things that I think they could do that they sure don't do, but hey, that's for another day. And that's pretty much, you guys, my routine in a nutshell. I have learned to pace myself. I will look you all in the face and tell you it's all about triggers. You really need to go home in your world and figure out what the triggers are that are setting you off, and then deal with them. And if you don't know how to deal with them, come in and ask me or ask Sherry. Uh, Stephanie Williams is a respiratory therapist from the COPD Foundation. Uh, Brindy is a respiratory therapist. Sonia is a respiratory therapist. There are many RTs in our group that can come out and help you. But I will gladly help you. If you can't get my attention in the group, then just send me a personal message in the chat box, and I definitely will see it when I come on. Um, and I will gladly help you. Uh, One thing with me, you're never going to get a lie. I can pick up the phone and call a respiratory therapist or my doctor 24/7. So I'm never going to give you a wrong answer. But that being said, I may not give you a fast answer either. These guys are busy, and now I try not to bother them uh, the best I can. So again, just hit me with a message or get my attention in the group, and I will gladly answer any question you have, or attempt to answer it anyway. Uh, and that's it. I mean, know your triggers, pace yourself. Know your triggers, pace yourself. I can't say it enough. Know your triggers, pace yourself. And I trust you. You're going to go a long way, and you're going to find out that you can do things that you didn't really think you could do, because you don't have to be scared when you're dealing with this illness. Look, we can all go into our mirrors, look ourselves right in the face, and tell ourselves, look, this is a terminal illness. There is no cure, but I can live if I'm smart. And then you just come back out and do what you need to do to make it work in your world. You do not have to sit on your couch scared that if you get up, you're not going to breathe. You just have to learn how to personally breathe, first of all, and then you'll find that it becomes second nature, and you're going to be okay. And once you start exercising, you're going to exercise them lungs, and they're not going to work as hard. Trust me, they're not going to work as hard. And you're going to see, wow, I've got some pretty good days in there, or I've got some pretty good hours in there. You know, I have a standing joke with my family. I would go spend a week in the hospital to get 3 weeks out any day of the week. I'm that serious. You give me 3 weeks where I could go do whatever I want to do, and I'll spend a week in the hospital, no problem. And I have a phobia about needles, so the hospital's not my favorite place to be. That's a fact. So, you know, it's all about attitude, I guess. I don't know. I just have a positive attitude about this illness, and look, 19 years later, I'm still talking to you. So something I'm doing right, obviously. So again, I tell everybody I have a really great team, and I do. They're all new now, but I still love these new ones just as much as I do my old team. So that's a plus. I have to give UC Davis credit. They really do produce a lot of warm, heartfelt respiratory therapists from their hospital. So that's really a blessing for me. On that note, I'm going to say goodnight because I've sat here and talked your guys' ear off. For those that didn't like what I said, I apologize. Hopefully this helps a few. That's my goal. And the rest is history. I hope everyone has a super fantastic weekend and a blessed night. And I look forward to doing this again next week. Till we meet again, adios.